Hello, Lions fans. Here's another update. And if you're just arriving on the channel, subscribe now so you don't miss any news. Here, you'll always be up to date with everything. Today's news will surprise even the oldest fans. We're talking about the possible arrival of an elite talent to the Detroit roster and taking the team to the Super Bowl. Leave a like. It really helps the channel grow and continue bringing you quality content. Thanks a lot for the like. Now, let's get straight to the point. The 2024 season was a real punch in the gut for Dan Campbell and Detroit Lions fans. After a historic campaign that made the team the best in the NFC and one of the big favorites for the title, the fall came brutally and early. In their first game in the playoffs, the team was surprised and eliminated by the Washington Commanders, a result that still resonates as a huge failure inside and outside the locker room. With the 2025 offseason underway, the team is already looking toward redemption, and the search for specific adjustments to the roster has gained full force. Although the core of the roster has been maintained and the team is still considered one of the favorites to fight for the Super Bowl, there is a consensus among analysts and part of the fans that there are still holes to be filled, especially on defense. The pass rush, which has some good moments, still lacks depth and consistency. Therefore, the pressure is growing for the Lions management to make a bold move and bring back a name already known to fans. Veteran Za'Darius Smith, an edge rusher with an impressive 69 sacks accumulated in his career and who left his mark. In the final stretch of last season, Smith, who arrived in Detroit from the Cleveland Browns shortly before the 2024 trade deadline, had a short but significant stint. In just 8 games with the Lions, he managed 4 sacks, 12 tackles, and even a pass deflection. Despite this solid performance, he ended up being released after the season due to contractual reasons. Now, with the market cooling down and the player still without a team, he becomes an affordable and extremely valuable alternative, especially for a team that wants to take its pass rush to a new level and cannot afford to make mistakes in 2025. Reporter Wendell Ferreira from A to Z Sports recently highlighted that Marcus Davenport is currently projected to start alongside Aiden Hutchinson. However, this configuration does not inspire much confidence for a team that dreams big. According to Ferreira, bringing Za'Darius Smith back to the roster could be exactly the reinforcement needed to consolidate the defensive line as one of the most feared in the league. The partnership with Hutchinson could give even more freedom to the young star, while Smith assumes a secondary but lethal role, coming in rotation or specific pressure situations. Faced with the uncertainty about the ideal contract and the clear opportunity in the market, fans are starting to raise their voices on social media calling for the veteran's return. For a team with Super Bowl aspirations, every detail matters, and strengthening an area as crucial as the pass rush could be the difference between yet another disappointment or the much dreamed of title win. Za'Darius Smith, with his experience and plenty of fuel left to burn, could be just the missing ingredient in this recipe. The ball is now in the court of Brad Holmes and the Lions board. Acting quickly could be the key to turning frustration into glory. Sione Vaki was without a doubt one of the most intriguing names in the last draft for those who follow the Detroit Lions closely. From the first rumors, it was almost certain that he would wear blue and silver, and it was no surprise when his name appeared as an official reinforcement. The reason? Vaki is the type of player the Lions love. Versatile, explosive, and capable of contributing on multiple fronts. However, even though he was named an All-American as a safety in Utah and considered one of the best in the class at the position, the truth is that Vaki will probably never play safety in the NFL, at least not in Detroit. That's not a mistake in judgment, it's strategy. And it has everything to do with Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes' bold plan to turn this raw talent into a secret offensive weapon. Shortly after the draft, General Manager Brad Holmes made it clear the Lions' interest was not exactly in safety, Sione Vaki, but in what he could become as a running back. That's right, one of the best college safeties in the country was being recruited to play on the other side of the ball. According to Holmes, the coaching staff was fascinated by the potential that Vaki demonstrated as a runner in Utah. Even though he played in a limited capacity at the position, the thinking was simple. If he already showed so much talent without dedicating himself fully to the backfield, imagine what he could do with full focus. The vision was set, and the Lions embarked on this transition project with all their might. During his rookie season, Vaki was used exclusively as a running back, a choice that took many analysts by surprise. But inside the Lions training camp, it all made sense. The team is clearly thinking about the future, paving the way for Vaki to take over, possibly in 2025, the role currently occupied by David Montgomery. Montgomery's contract was drafted strategically, allowing the team the flexibility to make room if it wants to go another way. As a result, Vaki has been carefully molded, trained, and polished. And according to inside sources, he is increasingly comfortable as an RB, showing remarkable progress in training. Expect to see him on the field more often this preseason. And don't be surprised if he starts getting real carries in the regular season. When it comes to the safety position, Detroit simply doesn't have a pressing need. With one of the best safety duos in the NFL right now, plus the addition of Avonte Maddox to bolster the depth and solid competition from the likes of Dan Jackson, Lawrence Strickland, and Maurice Norris, there's no room or reason to take snaps away from Vaki at defensive end. And that depth makes the plan to reposition him all the more interesting. After all, if he can be useful where the team needs him, why waste his talent at a position that's already well served? It's a chess move that shows how forward-thinking the Lions front office is. But Vaki isn't the only name that's getting attention in Detroit's moves. A veteran could be on the way to bolster the defensive side of the line. We're talking about DeMarcus Walker, a defensive end with plenty of experience who even visited with the Lions during the offseason. While he is still available on the market, his signing could be a response to the need for depth at the position, especially considering the injury history of players like Marcus Davenport and Josh Pascal. Walker is not a superstar, but he is reliable. With 26.5 sacks in 100 games and 3 full seasons without losing a single contest, he brings something valuable: consistency and durability. In a scenario where Aiden Hutchinson is the anchor of the defensive line, the role of a complementary DE becomes crucial, and that's where Walker could fit in perfectly. In 2 Advent 24, the former Chicago Bears player had 3.5 sacks, 7 tackles for loss, and an impressive 39 pressures. He may not be the terror of quarterbacks like Hutchinson, but his ability against the run game and his 36'4", 275-pound frame make him an extremely useful piece for the rotation. With a Pro Football Focus grade of 62.3 for run defense, Walker could serve as the guy who holds down the fort while Hutchinson shines. The Lions' recent defense history makes it clear why this addition would be welcome. In 2024, when Hutchinson was sidelined with an injury, the defensive line quickly lost momentum. The team finished tied for 23rd in sacks with 37 total. With Hutchinson playing only 5 games and still leading the team with 7.5 sacks, it's clear that the reliance on him is too great. Having names like Walker, Muhammad, and perhaps even a healthy Pascal could change that. Walker, even though he's not young anymore, he'll be 31 in 2025, could bring essential stability for the most crucial moments of the season. The possible signing of DeMarcus Walker, coupled with the development of Sione Vaki as a running back, shows that the Lions are playing chess, while many are still playing checkers. Every move by the front office points to long-term planning, but without giving up on competitiveness in the present. Detroit isn't just trying to build a talented team, it's building a deep, adaptable, and complete roster. And if the players respond as expected, the fruits of this bold strategy could start to appear as early as this season. And now, I want to know your opinion. Do you believe Sione Vaki will actually be able to establish himself as a running back in the NFL, even though he was one of the best safeties in college? Or do you think the Lions are wasting his natural talent by forcing a position change? In my opinion, it's a risky bet. But if it works out, Detroit could have one of the most versatile players in the league, something few franchises have these days. Now it's up to you. Comment below. I want to know if you support this bold plan or if you think Vaki should stay on the defensive side of the field. Oh, and if you enjoy this type of content, always updated and with in-depth analysis about the Lions, don't forget to leave a like, because that really helps the channel to continue growing. And if you're not subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button, because here we cover every step of our team's life with the eyes of those who really live the Detroit Lions. See you soon.